Have you ever heard of the Portillo'S brand? I'm sure if you're from Chicago, you've heard of it. They're making a big expansion throughout the United States, and I just visited last month one of their locations in Arizona. So a little bit about Portillo's. Dick Portillo started the brand back in 1963 after returning from serving in the Marines. And he gathered money from his savings and from investment from his brother Frank to open a hot dog stand. That hot dog stand grew a little bit. Last year, 2021, US sales were over $500 million. Yeah, that's right. Dick started a hot dog stand, or presumably he made a few $1,000s the first year, and now system-wide sales are over $500 million across 69 locations. It's not a franchise, unfortunately. We're gonna go through some franchise alternatives for Portillo's, but that's pretty impressive. Someone growing from 0 to 69 locations and growing from 0 to $500 million in revenue without even franchising. It also IPO'd last year. So Warren Buffett was a big fan and continues to be a big investor in this business. So they IPO'd on the stock exchange. You can buy the stock. You can't open up a franchise, but if you do believe in the brand and you think it makes good sense as a company, you can buy the Portillo's stock. So based on the information we have, a Portillo's restaurant is making about $8 million in revenue. When you compare that to one of my favorites, Chick-fil-A, they're doing about $6 million per location for a Chick-fil-A, where a Portillo's is making about $8 million in revenue. That doesn't mean that the holding company, that the corporation that owns those 69 locations, restaurants, is profitable. They're actually losing over $10 million a year as they continue to open up locations and are focused more on growth and opening new locations and top line revenue rather than having a profitable business all the way through. So Portillo's is in growth mode. If you want to look at another business that's been around a long time that has a pretty big footprint, not as big as Portillo's, but a pretty big footprint, generally a standalone restaurant, that would be McDonald's. So McDonald's, as many of you might have known, founded back in 1940 in San Bernardino, California. They've grown from serving hamburgers, chicken nuggets, French fries. Even last week, this October 2022, they announced a strategic partnership with Krispy Kreme's, and they're going to be selling Krispy Kreme's at some of the McDonald's locations. So they have innovated the menu over the years, but still the focus is on hamburgers and French fries. Currently, about 95% of all the US restaurants are franchised to independent franchisees, and about 5% are company owned. It's going to set you back $1.3 to $2.4 million, including the franchise fee of $45K to open up a McDonald's franchise. Average unit volumes at $3.3 million during 2021. That's a $450,000 increase over the 2020 numbers for McDonald's. With an average initial investment of about $1.8 million, we estimate it's going to take you 8-9 years or so to recoup your initial capital investment in a McDonald's restaurant. Another big brand is KFC. It's been around 68 years. The franchise has expanded to over 20,000 stores in 145 countries. If you want to open in the US, the total investment amount is $1.4 million to $3.1 million. You also have to have a net worth of $1.5 million and liquid assets worth over $750,000 to start a KFC franchise. Based on a profit margin of 15%, and this is a bit generous, we estimate it's going to give you a payback period of anywhere from 12 to 15 years to recoup your capital investment. So nearly double the amount of time it would take to get your money back from a McDonald's restaurant. If you're looking for higher return, higher average unit volume than a KFC or even McDonald's, you might want to consider a Whataburger. That the average unit volume is over $4 million, and they're expanding throughout the United States, headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. So those are 3 options to consider as you cannot franchise a Portillo's restaurant at the moment. We'll definitely keep you up to date though if they do consider franchising in the future.